Welcome back, 7th graders. It is Tuesday, January 19th today, and we are going to be working on an assignment that is going to help you to review different parts of animal cells and plant cells. We're going to be using an app called iCell. Its full name is Hudson Alpha iCell. But we're going to be using this app to fill out a chart on a worksheet and do some color coding of the different cell parts, just as a way to review them using something different than just the book and like reviewing the stuff that was in your model last week. So to start out with, you are going to need to get this app. This app is in self-service. So self-service, you remember, looks like this. Okay, right next to my gray dot there is the self-service icon on your iPad. So you're going to need to go in there, and the quickest way to find it is to just search iCell, and it is going to be the first and only thing that shows up, or it was last time I tried it. There it is, Hudson Alpha iCell. And you're going to need to install that app onto your iPad. Once you've got that installed, when you go ahead and open it, it's going to bring you to a main menu that's got an animal cell, a bacteria cell, and a plant cell. You're going to be able to look at all three of these. Today we are going to be focusing on the animal cell and the plant cell. In like a week or two, we're going to be doing some more learning about bacteria cells. So when you tap on one of these, you're going to go in there, and you've got a few different options. One, you can look at the cell in 3D. So this is a computer-generated drawing or model. You can spin it around and look at it from all different sides. As you tap on different parts of the cell, it's going to give you the name of that part and also give you the function, which is useful for what we're doing today. We are going to just be using the basic tab on this app. If you were doing like a 10th grade biology, you might be using the intermediate tab. If you were doing like an advanced bio or like a college biology class about cells, you might be looking at the advanced tab. But for our purposes, all we need is in the basic tab. So we're going to be using that. You will also need to get the worksheet out of Schoology. So if you go in Schoology into Science, it's going to be in this week's folder. So we're looking at week 9, January 19th through 22nd. And it's called the iCell App Review Worksheet. I tried to keep the name basic. The attachment is going to be your worksheet. Okay, so take that. And on the worksheet, you're going to have a screenshot of the same diagram you're going to see in the app. And then we also have a chart that you're going to be working on filling out. I've got the functions filled in for you, so you don't have to write quite as much. You're just going to need to write in the names of the parts that go with those functions, and then yes or no if it is only found in animal cells. So if it's only found in animal cells, you'd write yes. If it is found in other types of cells, you'd write no. We are also going to be doing some color coding, and so I'm thinking that the highlighter option on your iPad is going to be the best way to do this in Notability, because you'll be able to color code it without covering up the text completely. On the second page, you're going to see a very similar layout, except you've got a plant cell up at the top there instead of an animal cell. So you'll need to send that to Notability. So you'll use that upload arrow at the top of your screen, top right corner. Send that over to Notability, so you're going to be able to write on it. So we've got this ready to go. I've got the highlighter already selected because that's going to be the tool that I'm using. And then you're going to need to go to the app to get started. One annoying thing about the app is every time you leave it and go back into it, it brings you back to this menu. And so one thing you might want to do, if you swipe up from the bottom on your iPad, you can bring Notability up here, and it's going to kind of put it on the side of the screen over the top of the other app. It doesn't work to split screen these apps. They don't cooperate like that. I don't want to write on a teeny tiny notability note, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so to start out with though, you can just start tapping on different parts of this cell. So if you're wondering about what's this big yellow thing, that's the endoplasmic reticulum. It aids in transporting proteins that are made by the ribosomes. The ribosomes are these little blue or black dots that are found on the endoplasmic reticulum. If you're curious about these green things, that's a lysosome. It tells you what they do. We are going to be using the basic though. So they're like the digestive system. And so you can tap around and explore different parts. Here's the nucleus. But what we are looking for right away is the part that is the powerhouse, if you're going to go right in order here. So the powerhouse produces energy through cellular respiration to fuel the cell's activities. So we go back over to the app. It is going to bring you to that menu every time. So we're looking for powerhouse. So the yellow thing, not powerhouse. We're looking for this blue one for that first part. So this is the mitochondrion. It's known as the powerhouse of the cell. So that's going to match the definition we've got in our first row of the chart. Notice this is blue, and so I'm going to color code that blue just so I don't have to pick different color. Okay? You don't have to match the colors to the app. So mitochondrion is what we need. So go back to the worksheet. And so, like I said, the first one is mitochondrion. And it was blue. So I'm going to select blue and color this blue. And then up on the picture, we're also going to color those blue. So right there, here, here. I think this was one also. Are these found in animal cells only? No, they're not. They're found in both. And so you may need to look at this column last after you've filled in the different parts to know if it's going to be found only in animal cells and plant cells. Next one, it says breaks down old or unneeded parts of the cell. So if you go back to the iCell app, and so breaks down, that's going to be the lysosomes. They help break down old unneeded parts. So lysosomes is what we're going to write down in that first box, and they're green. It looks like we've got 3 of them in this picture. 1, 2, 3. Go back over to the worksheet. Fill in the name, lysosomes. They are more common in animal cells, but they can be found in plant cells. I think you'll see later on the app. And then we got to color them green. So switch that over. And we're done with those 2. So this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to keep going. You're going to have to jump back and forth, or as I mentioned, when you're in the app, you can, you can swipe up to get notability. For some reason that wants to keep going to Safari. And put that in the side there. So you don't have to keep going entirely back and forth if you don't want to. Hopefully this video was helpful, at least to get you started. And we'll let you get to work just reviewing those cell parts and looking at a slightly different drawing to help you become more familiar with them. Take care.